This table I created uses estimated payout averages from sources like Spotify royalty disclosures, Duetti streaming estimates, and IFPI market data. As you can see here, Spotify alone likely generates around $294,400 in gross annual royalties for the song. Based on typical legacy major label royalty structures, where labels, publishers, distributors, and management absorb roughly 40% of revenue, Slipknot's estimated take from Spotify lands around $176,640 annually. Apple Music is even more profitable per listener. Using industry average payouts reported by Duetti and Sound Campaign, Apple Music's higher payout structure likely produces another $144,000 in gross annual royalties, with approximately $86,400 ultimately reaching the band side. Amazon Music pays bands based entirely on how much the listener pays to use the app. When you blend rates from free version with the Amazon Prime and unlimited subscription rates, you get about $4.10 per thousand streams, translating into about $45,000 a year in gross streaming revenues, with about $27,000 going straight into Slipknot's wallet. For YouTube royalties, the official Slipknot Psychosocial video is monetized through standard premium ad-supported video rates, whereas YouTube Music tracks pull from a higher premium audio royalty pool. As such, despite paying far less per stream than most other platforms, YouTube still contributes over $34,000 annually in gross music royalties because of the song's enormous replay volume. Of that, Slipknot gets a little over $16,000. The rest of the platforms like Pandora, Tidal, and Deezer combine to make up about 5% of this legendary band's music streaming royalties. Now we move into one of the least understood parts of the music business, performance royalties. Every time this tune plays publicly, someone pays Slipknot a licensing fee. That includes FM radio, satellite radio, sports arenas, festivals, bars and restaurants, television broadcasts, and international performance licensing. Organizations like BMI, ASCAP, and international pro societies collect those royalties, and then they distribute them to songwriters and publishers. And because the Slipknot Psychosocial song remains one of the band's signature tunes, the track receives enormous public usage worldwide. According to public performance payout ranges published by BMI and ASCAP, active catalog rock songs with strong recurring airplay can still generate substantial annual performance revenue decades after release. FM and satellite radio alone likely account for roughly $74,000 in annual gross royalties for this tune. After publisher splits, collection fees, and royalty participation structures, Slipknot's estimated take lands around $44,400. International Performance Rights Organizations collections, or PRO for short, are another huge contributor. Based on IFPI global music usage data and international performance license estimates, overseas collections likely generate another $51,000 annually. And using an estimated 60% artist side participation rate for a legacy catalog like Slipknot's Psychosocial song, the band's share would be approximately $30,600. Sports and public venue usage is another steady contributor for Slipknot's song Psychosocial. Based on public performance licensing structures used by royalty collection organizations, this segment likely generates around $18,500 annually in gross royalties, with Slipknot taking home an estimated $11,100 after industry splits and royalty participation fees. This is why iconic songs become financial infrastructure for artists. The band doesn't necessarily need new hits anymore, because the old hits keep working. Now let's talk about sync licensing. Slipknot Psychosocial has something media companies absolutely love: instant recognition. The moment that opening riff starts, people immediately know the song. That makes it extremely valuable for combat sports promos, gaming content, action trailers, horror media, sports highlight packages, streaming documentaries, and aggressive commercial campaigns. This dramatically increases the licensing value. Take a look at the sync royalty categories in this table I created. The figures you see are based on sync fee ranges published by sources like Berklee College of Music and industry licensing agencies. Film and TV licensing likely generates approximately $52,000 annually for the Slipknot song Psychosocial. And after publisher commissions, sync agent fees, and royalty participation splits, Slipknot's estimated share lands around $31,200. Gaming and digital media placements are another major contributor. Based on industry sync estimates for high recognition catalog tracks used in gaming ecosystems and digital media campaigns, that category likely contributes another $31,000 annually. Sports broadcast licensing likely generates around $21,500 annually in gross royalties for the Slipknot song Psychosocial, as the song's aggressive energy makes it ideal for highlight reels, fight promos, and televised sports packages. Based on industry sync fee estimates and licensing participation structures, Slipknot's estimated share lands around almost $13,000 annually after publisher and licensing splits. Commercial and social licensing is a growing category for this song. The reason is that brands, social campaigns, streaming promotions, and short-form digital media often license recognizable tracks like this one to create instant emotional impact. Using estimated sync licensing rates from music supervision and advertising industry sources, you can see from the table that this category likely contributes around $15,000 a year in gross music royalties, with the band taking home roughly $9,000 after industry fees and royalty participation splits. This is why sync royalties can become so powerful. Just one placement can generate money globally without the band even lifting a finger. To sum it all up, as you can see from the table, when you combine everything together, this is why Slipknot's most headbanging song still makes $844,300 every year in music royalties. Even more mind-blowing is that over $500,000 of that money goes straight into the band's wallet every single year.